both alike in dignity. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean, from forth the fatal lords of these two foes. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's in not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage. The which with you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, on my word, we'll not carry coal.
No, for then we should be colliers.
I mean, and we be in collar, we'll draw.
Aye, while you live, draw your neck out the, collar.
I strike quickly being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away.
A dog of that house moves me to stand. I'll take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
That proves thee to be a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
True, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. I will pull the men away from the wall and thrust the maids to the wall.
The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids. Take it in whatever sense thou wilt.
They must take it in sense that feel it.
Me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hast been poor John. Draw thy tool.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel!
How? Run away?
Fear me not.
No, marry.
Let us take the law of our sides. Nay, I will bite my thumb, which is a disgrace.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say I?
No.
Well, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
If you do, I am for you. For I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw, if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
Rebellious subjects! Enemies to peace! Profaners of this neighbor-stained steel! Will they not hear? What, ho, you men, you beasts, who quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins? Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet, and Montague. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For now, all the Red Sea part. Capulet, you shall go with me. Montague, come you this afternoon. Once more for pain on death. All men depart!
Who set this ancient quarrel knew a broach? Were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours fighting ere I did approach. Came more and more, and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he wasn't at this fray.
An hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind bade me walk abroad, where under a grove of sycamore which westward rooteth by the city's side, there walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of the wood. I, judging his affection by my own, pursued my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned, who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning had we been seen there, adding to clouds, more clouds with his deep sighs. Away from the light steals home my heavy sun, and shuts far daylight out, creating an artificial night, black and portentous. Must this humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
Do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
He, his own affection's counselor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery. If we could but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would willingly give cure as known.
We see where he comes. Be gone. I'll know his grievance or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shrift. Come, let's away.
Is the day so young?
But news struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Is that my father that went hence so fast?
It was? What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Oh, that love, so kind and gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough and proof.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should, without eyes, see pathways to his will. Huh? Where shall we dine? I mean, what affray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh, brawling love, oh, loving hate, serious vanity, heavy lightness, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health. This love feel I that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No. I merely weep.
Oh, good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy on my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine own. This love that thou dost feel doth add too much to too much grief of mine own. Love. Love is a smoke, raised on the fume of sighs. What is it else? A preserving sweet, a choking gall, and a madness most discreet. Now, farewell.
I'll go along, and if you leave me, you do me wrong.
I am not here. This is not myself. I am not Romeo. He is some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is it that thou love?
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will. Word ill, urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, I do love a woman.
I am so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good marksman. And she's fair. I love.
Fairest mark is soonest hit.
And in that hit you'll miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity lives well armed. From love's weak childish bow she lives unharmed. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. Oh, she is too wise, too fair, wisely too fair to merit such bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Forget to think of her.
Teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite and question more. He that is stricken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost.
Show me a maid that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where one may read who passed that passing fair? Thou canst not teach me to forget. Farewell!
Oh, I'll pay that doctor or else die in debt.
Go, sirrah, trudge about through fair Verona. Find those persons out whose names are writ here, and to them say my house and welcome on their pleasure stay. It is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, the tailor with his last, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets. And yet I am sent to find out those persons whose names are writ here, and can never find the names the writing person hath writ. I must to the learned in good time.
Tut man! One's fire burns out another's burning. One pain lessens another's anguish. Turn giddy, and behold thy backward turning. Take thou some new infection to thine eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Your plaintain leaf is excellent for that.
For what, may I ask?
For your broken shin.
Ow! Thou art mad!
Oh, no more mad than a madman, bound up in prison, kept without my food, shut up, whipped, and tormented in Got in, good fellow.
God you got den. I pray you, sir, can you read?
Aye, my own fortune in my misery.
Perhaps you've learned it without book, but can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the language and the letters.
Ye say honestly, rest you merry.
Hey, stay, fellow, stay. I can read. Huh? Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Count Anselme and his beauteous sisters, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosala, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Signor Valencio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up
Whither?
to supper, to our house.
Ah. Whose house?
My master's.
Aha! Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
And now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great, rich Capulet. And if you be not of the house of Montague, then I pray thee, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
This same feast of Capulet sups the fair Rosalind, whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye compare her beauty with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
When the devout religion of mine eye maintains such falsehoods, then turn tears to fires. One fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun, ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
You saw her fair, none else being by, but in those crystal scales, let there be weighed your lady's love by some other maid.
I'll go along. No such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where is my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now, by my maidenhead at 12-year-old, I bade her come. Oh, what lamb, what ladybird, what Juliet!
How now?
Oh, your father.
I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Oh, nurse, come back again. I have remembered me thou'st hear our counsel. You know my daughter is of a pretty age.
Oh, faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
Now I'll lay 14 of my teeth, yet to my teeth, be it spoken, I have but 4. How long is it now to Lambeth tide?
A fortnight, not.
Oh, even odd of all days of the year, come Lambeth eve at night till she be 14. Susan and she were of an age. Well, God rest all Christian souls, Susan was too good for me. But as I said, on Lambeth tide shall she be 14. 'Tis now since the earthquake 11 years, and she could have run and waddled about. But not the day before she fell and broke her brow. And my husband, oh, bless his soul, was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, that will fall upon thy head when thou hast more wit, wilt thou not, Jewel? And the pretty wretch left crying and said, oh, to see how a jest shall come about, and I shall live 1,000 years, I never will forget it. That will fall upon thy head when thou hast more wit. And the pretty wretch said, aye.
Enough of this, I pray thee. Hold thy peace.
Oh, but I cannot choose but to love to think of it. The pretty wretch left saying, aye. That will fall backwards when thou hast comest of age, wilt thou not, Jewel? And the pretty wretch stinted and said, aye.
And stint thou too, nurse, I pray thee, say aye.
Yes, I'm done. God mark you. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I would see thee married if I had my wish.
Married! That marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It's an honor I dream not of.
An honor! Were I not thy only nursemaid, I would say thou hast such wisdom from thy teat.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are already made mothers. Thus, then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, a man, lady, a very man. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
A flower, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store makes my number more. Look o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight there writ with beauty's pen. Thus, in gaining all that he doth possess, you shall make yourself no less.
No less, nay, bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like, if looking like me move, but no more deep shall I indart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
I must awaiting up. Pretty, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girls. Seek happy nights to happy days.
What, shall this speech be spoke for an excuse, or shall we on without an apology?
The date is out of such proximity. We'll have no Cupid hoodwink with the scarf. We'll let them measure us a measure, we'll measure them a measure, and be gone.
A torch for me. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have a dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You're a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar above a common bound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light wings. And so bound I cannot bound a dull pitch above a wall. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
Oh, and under such great oppression do you burden love, such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and pricks like thorn.
Oh, if love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. A visor for a visor. What care I what curious eye doth quote deformities?
A torch for me. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
Done's the mouse, the constable's own word. We'll pull you from the mire of this irreverence love. Come, we burn daylight, ho!
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay, we waste our lights like lamps by day.
And we mean well in going to this mass, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
So did I.
Well, what was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh. Then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman. Her chariot wheels of spider's bone, her whip of cricket bone, the lash of film. Her chariot, an empty hazelnut made by the joiner's squirrel or old grub, long time the fairy's coachmakers. Like this, so ride she through lovers' brains, and they dream of love. Or courtiers' knees, who dream of curtsy straight. Or lawyers' fingers, who straight on dream of fees. Or ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream. Which oft the angry mad with blisters plagues, for tainted with sweet meats they are. This is the very mad that teaches maids who lay on their backs, makes them women of good carriage. This is she!
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkst of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy and more inconstant than the wind.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done and we shall come too late. I fear too early. For my mind misgives some bitter consequence yet hanging in the stars shall begin his fearful date with this night's revels and expire the term of a despised life enclosed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my source direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Strike drum!
You are welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day where I could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone! 'Tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome.
What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. The measure done, I'll watch her places stand, and by hers make blessed my rude hand. Oh, did my heart love till now forswear its sight? For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. What dares the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? By the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin. This is a Montague, our foe, who has hither come in spite, to scorn at our solemnity this night. An ill-beseeming semblance for a feast, but it fits when such a villain is a guest. Patience perforce with willful choler meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall.
If I may profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, then gentlifying is this, my lips, two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with the tender kiss.
Gentle, you do wrong your hands too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints all hands and holy palmers too? Saints lips? Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim. Lips they must use in prayer.
Then the lips do. What hands do? They pray, grant thou. Lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, but grant for prayer's sake.
Then do not move, while my lips' prayers effects I take. Thus, from my lips by yours is my sin purged.
Then my lips have the sin that they have took.
Oh, sin from thy lips, oh trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book. Madam! Your mother craves a word with her.
What is her mother?
Oh, married bachelor, her mother is the lady of a house, and a wise and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you spoke withal.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, my dear foe's life is my dear foe's account. The more to my unrest. Huh.
Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman?
I know not.
Well, go ask his name. If he be married, my death is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate, too early known and known too late. A prodigious birth is to me that I must love a loathed enemy. What's this? What's this? A rhyme I learned when I danced with Paul.
Juliet?
Anon, the strangers all are gone. Let us go.
Now old desire doth in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks. But to his foe suppose that he must complain, and she still loves sweet fate and fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers used to swear, and she is much in love, or means less, to meet her new beloved anywhere, but passion lends them power. Time means to meet tempering extremities of extreme sweet.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Oh, turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! Oh, he is wise. By my lie, hath stolen him home to bed. He ran this way and left this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio. Romeo, humor's madman, passion lover. Appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Cry, but I me, pronounce but love and dove. One word into my fair gossip's ear. One nickname her pure-blind son and heir. He heareth not. He moveth not. He stirreth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh. That thou in thy likeness appear to us. I conjure only but to raise him up. But he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark. For if love be blind, it cannot hit the mark. So shall he sit under a medlar tree, and wish his maids were that maids call meddlers when they laugh alone. Oh, Romeo, that she were an open, etc. And thou a pupper in pair. Oh, Romeo. Good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me. 'Tis in vain to seek him here who wishes not to be found.
He just at scars that never felt a wound. Oh, but soft! What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun! Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Oh, be not her maid, for she is envious. It is my lady. It is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. Ah, whoa. I am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven doth entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. Her eyes would through the airy regions stream so bright, the birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand? Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
Oh, she speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night as the upturned, wondering eyes on a winged messenger of heaven, of the mortals who fall upon their backs to gaze upon him, as he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Romeo. Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, but be sworn by love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's a Montague? 'Tis nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose would smell as sweet. Therefore Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he doth owe without that title. Romeo doff thy name, and for that which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened a knight, so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee. It is a name, dear saint, that is hateful to myself because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, of either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? And wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and love does what dares love attempt. Therefore thy kinsmen are no lick to me.
If they find thee, they will murder thee. I would not for the world they found thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight, and but thou lovest me, then let them find me here. My life were better ended by their my life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued wanting of thy love.
How foundest thou out this place?
My love, who first did bade me inquire, he lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou knowest the mask of night is upon my face, else would a maiden's blush bepaint my cheek. From what thou hast heard me speak tonight, dost thou love me? I know thy will say aye, and I will take thee at thy word, fair Montague. Or if thou thinkst I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, but trust me, gentlemen, I will prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must admit, but that thou overheardst my true love's passion ere I was ware. Therefore, do not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered.
My lady, by yonder blessed moon which...
Swear not by the moon, by the inconstant moon which monthly changes in her circle's orb, lest thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Well, do not swear. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love...
Oh, well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I take no joy in this contract tonight. It's too rash, too unadvised, too swift, too like the lightning, which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. Come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave it to thou before thou didst request it.
Wouldst thou withdraw? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and give it thee again. And yet I wish for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea,
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I'm afeard this being a night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Montague. And good night indeed. If thy bent be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word by one I'll procure to come to thee tomorrow, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon. But if thou meanst not well, I do beseech thee. By and by I come! To cease thy suit and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy life. Oh, love goes towards love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Psst. Romeo. Psst. This being night, I needs must speak softly, else would I tear the cave where echo lies with repetition of my Romeo's name.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo!
Oh, my dear.
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
At the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Well, let me stand here till thou remember it.
I should still have thee stand there, still forgetting, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stand to have thee still forgetting any other home but this.
Sweet, it is almost morning. I would have thee gone. And yet, like a wanton's bird that lets it hop a little from her hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving, jealous of his liberty.
I would I were thy birth.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep well in thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep in peace, so sweet to rest. Oh, hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell. Good morrow, father!
What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a good head to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch his limbs, there golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or if not so, here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
The last is true, the sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin, was thou with Rosaline?
Oh, with Rosaline, my ghostly father, no! I have forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's my good son. Where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. And both our help and remedy in thy holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo. My intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know that my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined to save what thou must combine by act of holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray that thou consents to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love lies not yet in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine, hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. The sun not yet thy sighs clear. Thy old groans ring yet in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek a stain doth sit of an old tear not washed off yet. If ever was thyself in these woes those wine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline.
Thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And bates me bury love.
Not in a grave, another out to have.
Oh, I pray thee, chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well. Thy love could not read and could not spell. But come, young waver, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor into pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
What the devil can this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight? Not to his father's, I spoke with the man. Oh. It is that pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosalind, that torments him so that he shall surely go mad. Tybalt, Capulet's kinsman, hath sent a letter to his father's house, a challenge on my life, and Romeo shall answer it. Well, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares being dared. Oh, alas, poor Romeo. He is already dead. Shot through the ear with a love song. The very pin of his heart cleft with a blind boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt? Why? What's Tybalt? More than the king of cats, I'll tell you. He is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song. His time, distance, and proportion rests me his minimum rest. 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist. A duelist. A member of the first house, of the first and second cause. Oh, the immortal passado, the punto reverso, the high, the... What? The pox of such antic, lisping fantasticos. A very good blade. A very, tall man. A very good whore. Isn't it a shame, grandsires? We should be so aired with these strange flies, these perdonamies, who are so set in their new ways they cannot at ease on the old bench. Their bones! Oh, their bones. Oh, here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo. Senor Romeo! Bonjour! There's a French salutation for your French slop. Thou gavest us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That is to say, a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hands.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Ah, pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Well said. Follow me this jest without pump worn out. When the single soul which is worn, the jest may remain after the single soul wearing.
Oh, single soul jest solely singular for the singleness?
Come between us, my wits faint.
Ah, switching spurs, or I'll cry. A match.
I will say thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I have in my whole 5. Was I with you there for the goose?
Ah, thou was never with me for anything when thou was not there for the goose.
I will bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Oh, nay, good goose, bite not.
Thy wit is a very bitter sweeting, a most sharp sauce.
And is it not a sweet sauce served into a sweet goose?
Well, there's a wit of Chevrolet that stretches from an inch narrow to an ell broad.
Ah, I stretch it out for that word broad, which proves thee far and wide a broad goose. Huh? Huh? Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
Why is this not better than this groaning for love? Now art thou sociable. Now art thou Romeo. Now art thou what thou art by nature. As well as by heart.
Stop there, Mercutio. Stop there.
Oh, thou wouldst have me stop?
Else thou will make thy tail large.
Thou art mistaken. For I was going to make it short. For indeed, I intended to occupy the argument no longer.
Oh, Mercutio! Mercutio, murmur! Murmur! Here's a goodly gear.
Gentlemen, may you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can. Although young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I'm the youngest of that name for a fault or a worse.
You say well. If you be he, sir, I do desire a word. Oh, my whole head aches. Prithee, my lady did inquire me to inquire you out. What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, sir, a word. If thou should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it would be a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and if you should deal her double, it were a very gross dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady. I do protest unto thee.
Faith I will. She'll be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there at Friar Laurence's cell she shall be shrived and married. Here's for thy pains.
Nay, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
At 9, she shall be there.
Farewell. Commit me to thy lady. Farewell. Commit me to thy lady.
Aye, hark you, I will. Hark you, sir.
What sayst thou, dear nurse?
Well, sir, my lady is the sweetest thing. Oh, when was a little prating thing? Well, there is a gentleman, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard, but she would lief rather see a toad, a very toad, than see him. I anger her sometimes by telling her that he is the proper man, but I'll warrant, when I do, she turns as pale as any cloud in the versal world. Doth not Romeo and Rosemary both begin with a letter?
Aye, good nurse, both with an R. What of that?
Oh, mocker! That's the name of the... No? Well, she had the prettiest sententious of it, both you and Rosemary. It would do you well to hear
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse, and half an hour she promised to return. Ugh, she is lame. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be swift and motions as a ball. But old folks may feign as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, here she comes. Come on, good nurse. Why lookst thou sad? Well, if news be sad, say it merrily. If good, you sour the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so poor a face.
Jesu. Oh, what haste. Curse you for making me jaunt up and down.
I would thou hadst my bones. Aye, thy news. Come with her, speak. Speak, I pray thee, speak.
Sir, what is your haste? Can you not see that I am out of breath?
How canst thou be out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? Is the news good or bad? Answer that and I'll stay the circumstance, but let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo. Not he. Although he has a fair face and a leg that excels all men's, but for a hand and a foot and He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. What, have you dined at home?
No, but all this I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh, Lord. Oh, my head aches. It beats as if it would fall to 1,000 pieces. Oh, my back the other side. Oh, my back. My back. Oh, beshrew your heart for making me jaunt up and down to catch my death.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. But come, what says Romeo?
Your love says, like a good and honest gentleman, and a wise, and I warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she's within. Where should she be? How oddly thou replies. Your love says, like a wise gentleman. Where is my mother?
Lady, are you so hot? Come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil. Come, good nurse. Sweet nurse. What says Romeo?
Have you leave to go to shrift today?
Well, I have.
Well, hie you hence to Laurence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now does the wanton blood come up in your cheeks? Don't be scarlet streaked at any news. Go to church. I'll to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
High fortune. Farewell, honest nurse.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, so that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of one short minute in her sight that joy gives me. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, and love devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Oh, here comes the lady.
Good evening to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
Else is his thing too much.
Well, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and the measure of thy skill be enough to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor's air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than in words, do brag of substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess that I cannot sum up half of my wealth.
Come with me and we will make short work. For by your leaves, you shall not be alone, until Holy Church incorporate two in one.
The day is hot. The Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. Thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moody to be moved, as soon moody to mood. Did I have the temperament of you, any man could buy my life for an hour and a quarter. Oh, simple life. Oh, by my head, here come the Capulets. By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen! Good den, a word with you.
But one word? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You will find me apt enough to that, and you will give me occasion.
Can you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortst with Romeo.
Consort? What? Dost thou make us minstrels? If thou makest minstrels of us, prepare to hear nothing but discords. Aye, here's my fiddlestick, here's that shall make you dance. Zoons, consort. We stand here in the public haunt of men. Men's eyes were made to look. I will not budge for any man's pleasure eye.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery. Go you before some field, and he'll follow you. They call him man.
Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the love I have for thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. I see thou knowest me not, therefore, farewell.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore, turn and draw.
I do protest. I have not injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. Be satisfied.
Come, vile, honest submission. Allah Staccato carries it away. Come, sir. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
But good Prince of Cats, one of your 9 lives. And as you shall hear me use me hereafter, I'll drive each the rest of the 8. Will you pluck your sword out of its pitcher by the ears? Else mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir. Your passado.
Gentlemen, forbear this outrage. Hold, Tybalt, good Mercutio. The prince expressly has forbidden bandying in Verona's streets. Hold, Tybalt, good Mercutio. What are you...
I am hurt. The plague of both your houses. Is he gone and has nothing?
Hey, what art thou hurt?
Hey, scratch. Go, villain, fetch a surgeon.
Courage, man. The hurt cannot be much.
No. 'Tis not so deep as a well, nor wide as a church door. But 'tis enough. Will serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. Zoons! Oh! A dog, a rat, a cat, to scratch a man to death! Why the devil came in between us?
I thought all for the best.
Pull me into some house or I shall die. Make worms food of me. I have it. And soundly too. Your houses.
Oh, Romeo! Brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman. Oh, Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel. This day's black fate doth on others depend. This but begins the woes others must end. Here comes the furious Tybalt alive again in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven respective lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt! take back the villain which late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's spirit is but a little ways above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy that didst consort him, here shalt with him hence.
Oh, this shall determine that. Go! There lies that Tybalt.
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo, who spoke him fair, bade him bethink, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt deaf to peace. But when he tilts with piercing steel toward bold Mercutio's breast. By and by, Romeo comes back, and to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw them part was stout Tybalt slain. Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio, who now the price of blood doth owe. Therefore, immediately we do exile him hence, deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore hence in haste, Romeo, and attend our will, mercy but murder pardoning those that kill.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Tybalt slain and is Romeo dead? It sounds the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
Oh, serpent heart hid with a flowering face. Did ever a dragon keep so fair a cave? Beautiful tyrant, fiend, angelical, wolvish, ravening lamb. So opposite of what thou justly seem'st. Was ever a book containing so vile a matter so fairly bound?
There is no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Oh, these sorrows, these pains, these woes make me old. Shame come to Romeo!
Blister thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is a shame to sit, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned, sole monarch of the universal earth.
Wouldst thou speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, my poor lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have blistered it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That same villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you mistaking offer up in joy. Tybalt's dead that would have killed my husband, and my husband lives that Tybalt would have slain. Wherefore weep I then? There was one word, worser than Tybalt's death, that hath murdered me, that banished, that one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was bad enough had it ended there, but Romeo is banished, that hath slain father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all dead, all slain. I am beguiled, for Romeo is exiled. Out to my bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie you to yourself. Well, to Romeo. He will comfort you tonight. I know what where he is. He is hid in Laurence's cell.
Give this ring to my fair knight. Bid him come take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what is the prince's doom? What dry sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. A gentler judgment vanished from the prince's lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Oh, Father, be merciful. Say death. For terror hath far more exile in his look than death. Then say not banishment.
Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Thus, banished from Verona is banished from the world, and exile is death mistermed.
Oh, deadly sin. Rude unthankfulness. Thy fault our law caused death. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
That is torture, and not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing may look upon her, but Romeo may not. Oh, speak not of banishment. The damned use that word in hell. Howlings attend it. How hast thou the mercy, being a divine, a sin absolver, a ghostly confessor, and my friend professed to mangle me with that word banished?
Thou fond madman, hear me but speak a word.
Oh, that will speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity, sweet milk, philosophy to comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can displant a town, make a Juliet, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not, talk not of it.
Oh, then I see madmen have no ears.
Oh, thou canst not speak of that which thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished, then mightst thou fall upon the ground, and taking the measure of an unmade grave, as I do now.
Arise, Romeo, what knocks? Hide thyself.
Not I.
What simpleness is this? Who's there? Romeo, run to my study. I come. Whence come you? What's your will?
Let me in and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Holy Friar, tell me, where is my lady's lord? Where is Romeo?
On the ground with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, he is even in my lady's case. Even in her case. So lies she, weeping and blubbering and weeping. Stand up. Stand up! Stand up and you be a man for Juliet's sake!
Nurse!
Oh my lord, is death the end of it all?
Speakst thou, Juliet? How is with she? Does she not think me an old murderer now that I have stained the childhood of our joy with blood but little removed from her own? How is my concealed lady, and what says she to our cancelled love?
She says nothing, but weeps, and then Tybalt calls, and then Romeo cries, and down falls again!
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her, as it did murder her kinsman. Oh, tell me, Friar, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me, that I may sack the hateful mansion!
Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseeming woman in a seeming man, or ill-beseeming beast and seeming both. By my holy order, thou hast amazed me. Thou hast slain Tybalt. Will thou slay thyself? Why railst thou on thy birth, the heaven and earth? Fie, thy shamest thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy dear love sworn but hollow perjury, killing those that thou hast vowed to cherish. What? Rouse thee, man! Thy Juliet is alive, thereof thou happy. A pack of blessings lies upon thy back. Tybalt would kill thee, thereof thou happy too. Henceforth in haste, until we can find a time to send thee to Mantua, to blaze the marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and then thou can come forth back with 20,000 times more joy than thou went forth in lamentation. Go before, nurse. Commend thee to thy lady. Romeo is coming.
I will. Hark you, sir. A ring she bid me give you, sir. Hurry. It grows dark.
Sojourn in Mantua. Give me thy hand. Good night. Farewell.
Oh, but that a joy past joy calls out on me. It were a grief so brief to part with thee.
Times of woe afford no time to woo. I will know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her own sorrow. I will make a desperate tender of this child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Bid her, mark you me, a Thursday, she shall be married to this noble earl. We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two, for hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, maybe thought we held him carelessly, if we revel much, being our kinsman. Therefore, we'll have some half a dozen friends. I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Wilt thou be gone so? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, and not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. It was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountaintops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight. I know it. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be a torchbearer and guide thee on this night on thy way to Mantua. Therefore, stay yet.
Oh, let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. My Juliet will have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. My Juliet wills it so. Come, let us talk. How is my soul? It is not day.
Oh, it is. How you hints be gone away. It was the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, she divideth us. Go, more light and light it grows.
Oh, more light and light. More dark and dark our woes.
Madam. Nurse? Your father comes. Be wary. Look about. Then window, let light in and let day out. Let light in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Oh, doggone, I fear I may be much years ere did I behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity to convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, and in time all our woes shall serve as sweet discourses.
I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art below as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Ere my eyesight fails her, thou lookst pale.
And trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Oh, Fortune. Fortune, all men call thee fickle. Be fickle, Fortune, that thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back to me.
Daughter, are you up?
How now? Who calls? Is it my lord's father? What unaccustomed cause procures him hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears?
But feeling so the loss, needs must I weep.
So you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Doing so, the laws needs must ever weep the friend.
Thou weeps not so much for his death, as that the villain that murdered him lives.
What villain is that?
That same villain Romeo.
Villain and he may be many miles asunder. God pardon him, I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
I, from the reach of these my hands would none but I avenge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade doth live. Shall give him such an unaccustomed dram, that he will soon keep Tybalt company. Then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. If thou could find a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo, upon receipt thereof, should soon sleep in quiet.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee of joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. I pray thee, father, what are they?
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectst not, nor I looked not for.
In happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn. The noble county Paris at St. Peter's Church shall happily there make thee a joyful bride.
He shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that ere he that should be a husband comes to woo. I shall not marry. These are news indeed.
What is this? Will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count herself blessed that we have brought such a worthy gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud that you have, but thankful that you have. For proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful for hate, which that meaning love.
How now, chop logic! What is this? Thank you, and thank you not. And yet proud, and yet not proud. Mistress Minion, you thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds.
Good.
But fettle your fine jointskins Thursday next to church with Paris, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither.
Good father, I beseech you on my knees. Let me speak but a word.
Hang thee, young baggage! Disobedient wretch! We scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this one child. But now I see that this one is one too many, and that we have a curse in having her!
Heaven bless her! You are to blame to rate her so!
And why, my lady Wisdom? Smatter with your gossips! Go, hold thy tongue!
May I not speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool!
May I not speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool! God's bread! It makes me mad. Day, night, tide, time, hour, work, play, alone, in company, and still my only care hath been to have her matched. And now, having provided a noble gentleman of noble parentage, to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you, pardon me. But as you will not wed, I will pardon you. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise. You be mine, I'll give you to my friend, and you not. Never after look me in the face. I'll ne'er acknowledge thee. Hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. I'll not be forsworn.
Oh, is there no pity sitting in the clouds and sees into the bottom of my grief? Cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if thou wilt not, make my wedding bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies. How shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. Some comfort, nurse.
Faith. Here it is. Romeo is banished, and all is for naught, that he ne'er come back to challenge you. And as the case stands as now it doth, think it best you married with the county. He's a wonderful woman. Man, no, lady, Romeo is a dish clout to him. An eagle hath not so fair, so green an eye as he hath.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And my soul too, or besure them both.
Amen.
What?
Go in, tell my lord that I have gone to Laurence's cell, having displeased my father, there to make confession and to be absolved.
I will do so. This is wisely done.
I'll to the friar, to know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have the power to die.
On Thursday, sir. The time is very short. You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death. Therefore, I have talked little of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage.
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Here comes the lady towards my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be when I may be a wife.
That may be, must be of Thursday. Come you to make a confession to this holy father.
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye, I'm sure, that you love me.
If I do so, it shall be more of proof spoken behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got false spite by that, for 'twas bad enough, 'twas for their spite.
Thou wrong'st it more than tears with that report.
It is no slander, sir, which is the truth.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
That may be, for it is not mine own. At your leisure, holy father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter. Now, my lord, we must entreat this time alone.
God forbid I should disturb devotion. Juliet, early Thursday will I rouse ye. Until then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Ugh. Shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come and weep with me. Past hope, past cure, past help.
Ah, Juliet, I know thy grief. On Thursday next be married to the county.
Tell me not, Friar, that thou knowest of this, unless thou canst tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou can offer no remedy, then do but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope that craves us desperate in execution. If you have the will of strength to slay thyself rather than marry County Paris, then thou wilt do a thing like death to chide away this present shame.
Bid me leap, rather than marry Paris from the battlements of yonder tower. Chain me with roaring bears. Or bid me go in a new-made grave and hide me in a dead man's shroud. Things that, to hear them told, have made me tremble. But I will do them without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home, be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, and then in bed this distilled liquor shall drink thou off. When presently through thy veins run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall have its native progress, no warmth, no breath, the roses in thy cheeks shall fade to paly ashes, stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed shrunkeness of like and death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as if from a pleasant sleep. And when the bridesmaid in the morning comes to rouse thee from bed, there art thou dead. And then thou shalt be borne to the same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. And Romeo, by my letter, shall know our drift, and he and I will watch thy waking in Mantua. This shall chide thee from thy present shame.
Give me, tell me not to fear.
Go then, be strong and prosperous. In one respect, I'll send letters with a friar in Mantua to thy lord.
Love give me strength, and strength help it afford. Farewell, dear father.
What, my daughter gone to Friar Laurence?
I pursued.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A feverish, self-willed
shrift with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by Laurence to come and fall prostrate here. Henceforth, I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Tell him this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Laurence's cell and gave him what becomes love I might, not to o'erstep the bounds of modesty.
Well, I'm glad of it. Stand up. This is as it should be. This reverend holy friar, our city is much bound to him. Nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light, since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Nurse, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which thou knowest is cross and full of sin. Farewell. Who knows when we shall meet again? I have a faint, cold fear that thrills through my veins and almost freezes up the heat of life. Come, Vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow? No, no, this shall prevent that. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison that the friar hath subtly ministered to have me dead? I fear it is, and yet, methinks he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid in the grave, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? Well, there's a fearful point. It is not very like the horrible conceit of that place, together with death and night, where, as they say, at some hours of the night, spirits come. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be disturbed and madly play with some forefather's joint, and in this rage pluck the mangled tittle from his shroud, and with a great kinsman's bone like a club dash out my desperate brains? Romeo, I come. This do I drink to thee.
Mistress! What mistress? Juliet, what lamb, what lady? Why, you slug a bed? What? Not a word? You take your pennyworth now, sleep for a week. The next night I warrant the county Paris hath set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. Oh, God, forgive me. Mary and amen, how sound is she asleep? Will it not be? Madam! Madam! Oh, I must wake her! Oh, what in your clothes and down again? Lady! Lady! Lady!
What noise is here? What is the matter?
Lamentable day, look, look!
The child is dead. What will they? Let me see her out. Alas. She is cold. Her blood is settled, her joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long parted. Death lies on her like an untimely frost. on the sweetest flower of all the field.
Come! Is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. Death! She hath wedded. And I will die with her, leaving all to death. Life living, all is death. Oh, hateful, wretched, woeful day. Most miserable hour that e'er time saw it, lasting labor of his pilgrimage. But one poor, but one thing to rejoice and solace in, and death hath catched it from my sight.
Peace, hope, for shame. Confusion's cure lives not in these present confusions. Heaven and yourself have part in this fair maid. And weep ye now, seeing as she is high above the clouds, as high as heaven itself? Dry up your tears and stick your rosemary on this fair course. Nature's tears are for reason's merriment.
All things that we ordain festival change from their office to black funeral. Our wedding cheer to sad burial feast. Our solemn hymns to sullen dirges change, and our flowers serve for a buried corse. And all things, change them to the contrary.
Everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens do lower upon some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. It's a strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life within me with kisses that I revived. Ay me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. Ah, news from Verona. How now, Balthasar? Hast thou any letters from the friar? How is my lady? How is Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then all is well and nothing can be ill. Her body lies in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowst my lodging. Fetch me pen and paper, hire post horses, I will hint tonight.
Patience, I pray thee, your looks are wild and pale, and do import some misadventure.
Thou art deceived. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
'Tis no matter. Do the thing I bid thee do. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, tonight I'll lie with thee. Now let's see for means. I do recall an apothecary, and hereabouts he dwells, late I noted in tattered weeds and overwhelming brows, culling of simples. And upon noting this penury, I said to myself, and if a man did need a poison whose sale was present death here in Mantua, here lives a caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, but this same thought did but forrun my need, and this same needy man must sell it me. If I do remember, here lives the beggar. This being but holiday, his shop is shut. What ho! Apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Halt! I see that thou art poor. Come hither. Here is 40 ducats. Sell me a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as would disperse itself through all the veins that the life-weary taker may fall dead.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare, and full of wretchedness, and fierce to die? Need and oppression starveth in thine eyes. Contempt and beggary hang upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world's law affords thee no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, break it, and take this.
My poverty and not my will consents. Put this into any liquid thing without will and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men to dispatch you straight.
There's thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls than these poor compounds thou mightst not sell, doing more murders in this loathsome world. I have sold thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell. Come cordial, not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe, thy canopy is dust and stones. Which sweet water nightly I will do, or wanting that with tears distilled by moans. The obsequies for thee that I will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. For cursed foot wanders this way tonight. To cross my obsequies and true love's right, muffle me night a while.
Oh, thou detestable womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus will I enforce thy jaws open and cram thee with more food.
This is that banished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is said the fair creature died. And here is to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I apprehend thee here, for thou must die.
I must indeed. Therefore came I hither, young gentleman. Good youth. Tempt not a desperate man by urging him to fury. Put not another sin upon my head. For hither came I armed against myself. Therefore be gone and live. Hereafter say a madman's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Oh, wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
I'm slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
Will indeed. Let me peruse thy face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man as my Balthasar soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he said that Paris would have married Juliet. Alas, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll lay thee in a triumphant grave. A grave. Oh no, a lantern. Slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet. And her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there by a dead man interred. Oh, my lady, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power on thy beauty. Thou art not yet conquered, beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and cheeks. And And death's pale flag is not yet there advanced. Oh, Juliet! Why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that amorous death keeps thee here and seeks to make him and you his paramour? For fear of that will I ne'er from this dim palace of night depart again. Here shall I set up my place of everlasting rest with worms that are thy chambermaids. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace, and lips. Oh, you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Now, desperate pilot, dash on the raging rocks and seasick weary bark. Come, that our conduct. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary. Thy drugs are quick. Best with a kiss. I die.
St. Francis be my speed. How often out of my old feet stumbled at graves. Who's there? What torch vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls? As I discern it, burneth in the Capel's monument. Who's there? Romeo. How long hath he been there? Fear comes upon me. Romeo! Alack the day. What blood stains the inches of this stony sepulchre? What means these gory and masterless swords? Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Comfortable, Friar? Pardon my lord, I remember where I should be, and there I am.
I hear some noise. Lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. Some greater power hath thwarted our intentions. Thy husband there in thy bosom lies dead. In Paris too. I dare no longer stay.
Go, hie you hence! I'm not away. What's this? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison I see hath been his timely end. Churl, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Happily some poison doth hang there to make me die with the rest of you. Thy lips are warm. Wait, noise. Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There rust and let me die.
People in the street cry Romeo,
Some Juliet.
and some Paris, and all run with open outcry toward the monument, seal up the mouth of outrage for a while.
Then shall we know the hints of these ambiguities, their spring, their descent.
Meantime, forbear,
And I will lead you even to death.
and let mischance be slave to patience.
Where be these enemies? Capulet? Montague? See what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds mean to kill your joys with love. All are punished. A glooming peace this morning with it brings the sun, for sorrow could not show his head. Go forth to talk of these sad things. Some shall be punished and some pardoned. For never was a story of more woe than that of Juliet and her dear Romeo.
exciting journey.
Super fun.
Not to mention painful.
Oh my God.
He's okay.
He's okay. We've practiced that
fine.
many times. And of course, tonight is the first time best of all, running into a ladder. So many things have happened. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for enjoying. Thank you for staying through our volleyball soundtrack. This would not have been anywhere near as fun without you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.